Okay.
To our listeners out there, good morning. We have the pleasure of having a group of concerned students here to talk about a pressing matter that is happening here in our community. My name is Gustavo. To my left, we have Freddie.
Karina.
Jose.
Joyce.
Alex.
Okay, let's get to it. The pressing matter at hand that is happening in our public schools, in the elementary and middle schools, is that we have a high academic gap between English language learners and native English speakers. Karina, how do we get this information?
So I did research and math scores reached up to 0.0% according to the state results on the CAASPP statewide. They gained less than 1% point last year. Also, English learners' performance remains at the bottom of all subgroups of students, lower than all ethnic groups, and for all the students receiving special education. Alex, do you want to add to that?
I can add to that. Thank you, Karina. So one of the problems that happened in California regarding the English learners in the education system was that we found that in 1998 that they found a Proposition 227, which stated that teaching academic subjects or in any foreign language has been widely understood to be illegal since 1998. To add on to that, it also states that the law held that all children in California public schools shall be taught in English by being taught in English. And thankfully that this proposition has been repealed, but there's still a lot more problems to go regarding our English learners here in California, and there are still problems with the system.
There are many problems when it comes to the barriers that English language learners have. However, I want to point out one underlying issue when it comes to bilingual teachers and how unqualified they are. When it comes to unqualified English learning teachers, most are in training while teaching English learners, thus creating material that most likely won't be helpful towards the students. Not only are the students struggling in class when it comes to parent support, the language gap can be imperative to the academic and social support the students can receive. With no communication from monolingual teachers and parent support for ELL students is minimal. There are no liaisons, translators, or technology we need to support the students, and we will continue to struggle without the resources the English language learning programs desperately need. Joyce, what's your input?
Yes, Freddie, I agree with you because I think that's not having bilingual teacher is one of the biggest problem, and also we should have like tutors, assistants for the professors or teachers, and also I think another thing that it is important, we should have like a smaller classroom because that's one thing that I have heard from the teachers, my children's teachers.
So one of the big issues right now is also just how the size of the classes, as well as inadequate teachers, right? So that posing the question that what is the best solution? Best solution being that we get teachers who have the right requirements, that being having a secondary language to connect with the student, as well as communicating with the student as well as prior experience with bilingual students, and having a teacher credential that connects with the student who is a non-native speaker. Gus, what's the research about the funds we could do for that?
Well, I mean, to get these teachers motivated and get the resources we need it's a financial matter. We do not have to tax the citizens. If we look at the Department of Education's budget for this year, we can see that $5 million was taken away from last year's towards the English language acquisition branch. But while the Department of Defense, they just got a $47 billion increase for this year.
Wow.
I think that it's just too much of a money that could be used, just even like a 5% or lower to integrate to the Department of Education. I think by allocating those funds from the military branch, from the Department of Defense to the Department of Education would benefit a lot to get these resources and also to motivate these teachers, like you said, to be able to connect with these students at a better level.
Yeah, the state should provide bilingual translators for parents, not just students, but so that their parents can be more involved in their child's education, because most likely the parents don't speak English.
Yeah, they come from the students who are like English language learners are first generation Mexicans here in Southern California, and their parents are, the percentage of parents not knowing English is very high. It's usually like parents not knowing English. So for the parents to get on board and know about the system, of the education system, we do need those resources like a translator to be able to connect them with the parents of these students.
Yeah, but that goes back like to the funds. I mean, that's like the base of the problem, because all the resources that we can get, it's based on funds. So, and especially on jobs, a good wage is like a good motivation for them, like at least to try to learn some Spanish or another language. And also because I know from first hand, because I am working in an elementary school, that sometimes they stay after hours, and that work is for free because they don't get paid, especially in, when the parent teaching conferences are coming, they stay like after hours, like maybe 2-3 hours every day, and that is for totally free.
And I don't think that's fair. I think they need to be
Yeah.
compensated for the work that they're doing for these children, because these kids are our future.
Yeah, of course.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you all so much for bringing this this matter to the public, and to our listeners out there, talk to your state representatives and help us close this high academic gap that is happening in our community.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Okay, chicos.